Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Photography Live podcast series, Photos and Stories. It's so good to see you, everyone, after a long time. As always, me, Andrew Biraj, a professional photojournalist based in Washington, D.C., have the privilege to invite legendary and successful professionals in the photography industry. 2020 was a very challenging year for us, but I hope you all started the new year with good health. This is the sixth episode of Photos and Stories, and I'm so excited to come back with a list of some more amazing photographers from all around the world who will be featuring in this show from now on with their incredible stories behind their award winning pictures. So, my purpose is to present behind the picture stories of the life and the journey of these amazing photographers. Today, in the sixth episode of Photos and Stories, it's a great honor to present internationally renowned Iranian documentary photographer, winner of World Press Photo Award, Pictures of the World, Fatemeh Behboudi. Please welcome Fatemeh Behboudi.
Hi.
Hello, Fatemeh. How
Hello,
are you?
Andrew. I'm
It-
fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much to you too, because I know that it's been. I apologize uh, to our viewers because of a small delay, because I know that we were having some issues to connect internet. I know that you are at this moment you are in Tehran, right? Fatima, can you hear me? I'm sorry. I think the internet connection is a little bit disrupted at this moment. We have been trying it to resolve it for a long time. I think uh, we should be back very soon. Viewers, please forgive me and give me some more time to come back. Hopefully, Fatima will be connected very soon. Yeah. Thank you so much, viewers, for being here, for seeing these photos and stories. I know that it has been a very, very challenging time for all of us. And I know that I also took a long break to come back with a new episode. But from this time, from now on, I can promise you that I'll be bringing some more amazing photographers from diverse background and from diverse from different parts of the world. So I wish that you all be connected and keep watching photos and stories. And the the viewers who are watching this podcast at this moment, please share the link of this podcast to your social media, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and that is highly appreciated. Um, our link is like my profile link, which is www.facebook.com/Andrew Biraj and www.youtube.com slash Andrew Biraj. So hopefully I'll be back very soon with our amazing guest today, Fatemeh Behboudi. She's an Iranian photographer. She's connecting from Tehran, Iran at this moment. So apologize for small interruption in our connection, because Fatemeh is trying to connect with us remotely from Tehran. Viewers, in the meantime, I also want to share you that if you want to see the previous episodes of Photos and Stories, you can always visit my website, which is www.andrew-biraj/photo stories. And also, you can visit my Facebook page, which is just slash Andrew Biraj, and you'll get all the amazing previous episodes, which I have done with some legendary photographers like Dave Burnett, Eli Reed, and also some successful photographers like Peter Van Akmo, Daniel Berulak, and also Michael Cohen from Australia. So, viewers, I apologize again for the disruption. I appreciate that you are hearing. You have already joined us, and you are still with us. And Fatima is back.
Yes, sorry. Hello
Hi,
again.
Fatima.
I'm really, really sorry because because this is Iran and we always everything is filtered in Iran. We have many problems.
No
I'm
problem
really
at
sorry.
all, Fatima. We are. I personally am very, very delighted to have you as a guest in my show, and I understand that the internet connection is not as good as like I in my place. So. Uh, I really appreciate that you took this effort and your for your time. So can we start, please?
Yes, yes, sure.
All right, sure.
Hello. Yes, yes.
Yeah, Fatima, I know that you have been in Denmark, and you just came back from Denmark. I know that you already enrolled in Danish School of Photojournalism. You came back from there in the first week of January, and then we have been, back and forth um, to organize this podcast. But a little bit to for our viewers, can we go back a little bit? Like, can can I ask you, like, how did you start photography, and what inspired you to take photography?
Okay. I think this is a very long story because I didn't like photography first. This is very strange. When I was very younger, I mean, when I was 19, my father was an art manager, and I wanted to go to a school. And he told me, Fatima, you're talented, and I think it's very good for you. Don't go to university and come to my center, art center, and start to learn art. I think it's very good for you. And I decided to study photography, but it was not very interesting for me. But at that time, I think it was about 2 years that I studied. I saw a person that she was very She was very strange person. Her name was Leila, and when I mean, printed one of my black and white photographs. She told me, Fatima, I believe that you one day to be great photographer because you took the spirit of the tree, and after that she died. Do you know? Sometimes we have no power for our lives. Everything is changed because I really like to be pianist, but the days of my best friend made me to be photographer today. That's why I decided to be great photographer one day because of my best friend. So I started professional photography in 2007. I worked with Iranian news agencies, several Iranian news agencies like ICNA, Fars, Mehr News, IRNA. I think most of the Iranian news agency, and yes, and I think the first my professional events in international was in 2013. I was selected for the JUBSORT Masterclass WordPress Photo for the first time, and I think this masterclass helped me to be seen and to believe myself and my photography, and everything happened after. Yes, and
Amazing.
yes,
Fatima,
yes, please.
this is really amazing. I know that as you told that you wanted to be a pianist, and your background is in art. I am more interested a little bit about your, like, means, in your childhood, and want to learn,
My
like,
childhood.
yeah, like, how was it, like, you grew up in Tehran, and I know that I
Yes,
when I was I've been going through your work for a long time, and I'm sure that our most of our viewers are, like, it's very familiar with your works too, because those are, like, highly celebrated all around the world. I saw in your statement that you grew up during the Iran-Iraq War. So, how was your
yes,
childhood?
yes.
Where did you grew up? And how was it? How was it difficult or like?
Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, I want to say for the first time that my childhood was very, very, very hard. I think it was like a tragedy, and I'm waiting that maybe in future I really like to make my story, but I always say just about a little part of my childhood, and that was very important part of my life. That was very impressive, and that's why today I'm making projects about the effects of the war. Do you know, I was born during the Iran and Iraq war in 1985, and I never forget that all of my childhood was were spent in the name of the war. I always saw the war inside of my home and others. And I mean, my grandfather, he went to the war, and he had many injured, or my uncles, or my best, or the best friends of my father. I mean, he were killed during the war, and his body went back after, I mean, 5 or 10 years. I don't remember because I was very child. But I always remember that everything was about the war. And all of my paintings, all of my, I mean, my games, or everything was about war. I mean, even the movies that we always watch, or I always remember the voice of, sorry, my English is not good, and I always heard everything. That's why I never forget that. When I was, I mean, about 7 or 6 years, I don't remember. I never forget that for the first time I saw that me and my father went. We heard that many bodies, I mean, Iranian soldiers, their bodies were found and come back to Iran. And me and my father went to say hello to the bodies after many years. It was the first time I saw that. And it was always in the inside of my mind that the war was finished. Why there is many body, and why this issue is very important. It was always inside of my mind. And when I was grow up, we always living in the Middle East. I mean, we always heard many news. I mean, in the Middle East, in Afghanistan, Iraq, everywhere, that there was always war, and we always lived with the threat of the war. Or even I always heard that the people always talking about Saddam Hussein, what he did to Iranian people or the other people. I mean, even in his country. And I think the war is not going to finish for us. I mean, especially for Iranian people, because uh, I think this is very, very similar, very, very familiar for me. And that's why I decided to make a story about that. But before that, I always saw that many projects, I mean, European photographers always coming to me to the Middle East. They always making a story that they are very amazing, and I really like them. But I felt that something is missed in their works. I mean, something that I felt that I can show about that, because I always lived and grew up with them sometimes. Oh, sorry. That's why I decided to make the story, the projects about the effects of the war. I started it first in Iran, and maybe I can continue this idea in other countries. I have this idea. Yes, sorry.
But certainly, you don't have to be sorry. Means English is not our primary language, so I really appreciate that you are taking the for. So, Fatima, that you have been talking about your inspiration, and was there any specific moment that inspired you to take up documentary photography? Because I know that you have been working as a news photographer initially, and then you transformed into like more on the long term projects. So, was there any specific moments or inspiration behind it?
I mean, for the first time, I never forget that. For the first time, I saw a picture of Kevin Carter. I mean, maybe you saw that. Kevin Carter, he's very famous. He took a shot from a child in Africa. For the first time, when I saw that, I was surprised. Wow, why this photo is very impressive, and I had many questions about this photo. That's why I decided to make stories about that. I mean, the story to be very strong, like Kevin Carter, and yes, sorry, and the one it was about that. After that, for the first time, I went to exhibition of Mr. Alfred Yaqubzadeh. Do you know him?
Yeah,
Hello.
sure, of course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm here. I'm here. I'm just giving you the full screen,
Hi.
sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Please go on.
Hi, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, yeah. Sorry,
Please
because
proceed.
I
Please
didn't see you.
proceed.
Yes, and yes, yes. I mean, Kevin Carter was the first person who was very impressive on my projects. And after that, I saw a photo exhibition from I mean Alfred Yaqubzadeh, he's Iranian French photographer,
Mhm.
and he made a story about Palestine, and it was very strange, and it was very impressive. And one thing that is very important about my projects is very big when I started photography, because I never had a very good master and I always learned everything with myself. And I really liked first. I really liked take photos of politicians, and it was always my dream. I mean, in the second years of my professional work, that I worked with Iranian news agency. It was a Iranian election. It was the first time I saw something that changed my life and my photography too. I always like take photos of politician, but after the election, there was a very big problem because many people believe that in Iran's election, there was a little problem, and the Iranian people chose another person. I mean Mir Hossein Mossavi, but the government, I mean the regime of Iran, chose another person. It was Ahmadinejad, and that's why people come to the street. They were very angry, and I saw something that I had many questions to myself. Fatima, do you like take photos of politicians, and or do you like take photos of people? Which one is very important for you? And I asked this question, and I saw that, I mean, I really like take photos of people. I mean, I changed myself, my mind. I found that just people are very important, not politicians. Politicians always playing with all of us. But if I want to make a stories that people, I mean, to be very impressive, I should make a stories just for people. That's why I changed my mind at that time. I think it's about 11 or 12 years ago. I mean, in 2009 year. That's why I was the first of my professional photography. I changed my mind and I decided to be, I mean, documentary photographer. And after that, I started to learn with myself slowly because I had no good master. I always tried my best to learn with myself. Yeah.
Yeah, Fatima, in this point, I really want to go straight to your photographs because I want to show some of your award-winning and very important projects to our viewers, and I hope that you'll be talking about the project and the behind the scenes stories. Viewers, I apologize again because for the internet connection, the pictures might be seen in a very smaller resolutions, and I hope that you bear with it. And um, yeah, so I'm sharing this my screen. Fatima, just let me know if you see my screen.
Yes.
All right. So can we? Can we start with the Mother of Patience project? And you have been talking about it
Yes, sure.
briefly in
So,
primarily. So can you go a little bit
yeah,
depth?
yes,
Yeah, thank you.
yes. Do you know? I say honestly because it's very important. Maybe why I made these projects. The first reason that I had to make a story, it was about my past. I mean, my childhood. That I always saw the war, the inside of my home, and after that, I mean. I always, I mean, I told you about that. That me and my father went to say hello to Iranian bodies,
Yeah,
Iranian soldiers' bodies, and it was like a question. And when I started photography, I mean, professional photography, it was about like that. I mean, I always took the photos of the ceremony that Iranian soldiers' bodies, after many years, find and come to Iran. I always made many reportage for Iranian news agency about that, and at that time I saw mothers that they were looking for their lost son bodies, and it was like a question to me why the mothers they never forget their sons after, I mean, 30 years, why they never forget that. And I found that that other people, I mean ordinary people, they don't know about those mothers, or even I found that people around the world, they don't know about the Iran and Iraq war, they have no information. So the importance of these projects, I mean, I mean, I mean, I started this project for the Job Sword Masterclass first. I didn't know that how much this project is very important. But I saw a person. Her name was Maggie Stieber. I don't know you know her or no. She's the first person. She found me in Facebook, and I talked with her about this project, and she told me, Fatima, I believe that this project is very important. You should make it. So I started to work on this project slowly because I had no sponsor. I had there was no support, and it
yeah.
was
I
very
must have to
hard to
say this
find them.
point that
And
Maggie
it
is
was my first life.
yeah, Maggie is a
So
great
sorry.
inspiration for all of us, and she herself
Yeah,
is one of
yeah.
the legendary photographers from United States, and she's like greatest inspirations for all of us. Yep.
She's very nice person, and I think she believed me when I didn't believe myself. And she told me, Fatima, this project is very important because we don't know about that. So I decided to make this project. I mean, I started this project in Jubsword for just for Jubsword, but I found that when I saw, I mean, professional masters in, I mean, in WordPress, I decided to continue that, and I continued this projects for different. I mean, for many years. I think this project took about five years, and slowly I worked on this project and could to be seen. The project is
Fatima, I have
about
a question.
the Iran and Iraq war.
Yeah, your
So
pictures,
sorry.
in most of your pictures, those are so intimate. I see that you are in the middle of people's emotions. You are so involved in their life. I know that as a photographer, it's not only about taking pictures, but also like um, making strong relationships and is going um, to the lives of people. So, can you please talk about a little bit more about like how did you manage the access, as well as how did you feel by yourself to work with these people?
Uh, One thing I really like to say, because first, Iranian people are very warm people. They are going to be friends with together very soon, and this is very easy. And another one is my. I told you that my childhood was very hard because I never had mother in my life, And when I this project, it was about with my heart, because I wanted to discover who is mother, and what is the love between mother and her child. It was like a question. I wanted to discover this. This it was very important to me. And when I started this project, I didn't know how much is heavy and is very deep project, because it was very hard. Every time I found a person and I went to their homes, I found many things that it was like a surprise and a shock to me. And after project, I mean, when I go back, I went back to my home. After that, I cried so much for this project, because I couldn't believe that how could those people uh, they still have many pain or suffer from the war, but and nobody see them. I do know it was like shock to me. And when I went to their homes and told them I come to take your photos, they were very kind to me, because there were never a person who wanted to say about their sons, and they believed me, and they were like a mother to me, and they supported me. And I lived with for many days, I mean, every mother. I mean, I
Is
had
there any
no problem
specific person
with
you want to
people.
share
uh,
the story with us? Is there any specific person?
what?
Is there any specific mother you
I
want to
can.
share her story with us?
Yes, there is a mother. Yes. There is a mother that she's calling. I mean, with phone. I mean, I had an interview before about that shot. I'm not sure. Can you see? A mother is calling with phone. It's in my project. This mother, I started mothers of patient projects. With that person, can please come down? Yes. Uh, there was a mother that she told me, Fatima, I had many pain in my life. I'm really tired and I really like to die. She told me. And why the photos is very small. It's not so much. Sorry.
I know, I'm so
Uh,
sorry because of
she
the
told me.
screen resolution. Yeah.
Yes, I will say. I mean, in my website there was so much photos that it's not here.
Yeah,
But
viewers,
I told with her. She
viewers,
told me,
you
Fatima.
can always visit Fatemeh Behboudi's website, which is fatemehbehboudi.visual.co. I will be sharing her website after this live show, and you can always go through her work and see the photos by your own. Thank you. Yeah, please, Fatemeh, proceed.
Yeah. Yes, and she told me, Fatima, I'm really tired because I was waiting for my last sons about 32 years. I really like to die, but before my death, I really like to find a little part of the body of my son. After that, I really like to die because I'm really tired. And one day, I was really, I personally, I was very sad, and I mean, because we are Muslim and we believe to God much, and I talked with God. I told him, "Can you help this mother because she's very tired, and I don't know how could I help her. She was like a mother to me." And for the first time in my life, I had a dream about her son. I mean, her son that he I mean, he were lost about 32 years, and in my dream, I had one person called me and told me that her son body were found, and in my dream, I went to her home and I found I was looking for her, but I couldn't find him, and when I woke up, I called her. I told him. I had a dream about your son. I think your son is going to be fine. And she told me, Fatima, do you believe that he's coming back? I told him, Inshallah. I mean, the God is going to help you. And I can't believe that after 3 months, I had one person called me, told me, Fatima, her son were found with DNA test. I
Wow.
was shocked. Wow, I couldn't believe that her somebody sent me message to me, and I gave her mother this message. And that I never forget, that day I went to her home, and I we hugged each other. I mean, I'm not just a photographer at the moment, I was just a person. And we hugged each other, and I told her, did you see that your son come back? And she cried so hard. And that moment I took her shot. She's talking with other people. Many people called at the moment and said congrats to her, that I mean, your somebody were found and come back and something like that. It was a very important shot to me. But for I mean, this shot, I really like this shot. This
This
woman
one,
that she slept under the tree. Another shot.
this one.
The
Yeah.
woman she slept under the tree. Yeah, yes. When this woman, yes, I went to her home. She told me that the tree is the only thing that she had from her son, because her son before going to the war, he made a tree in the yard. When he went, every day, mother, she's going to she is sleeping under the tree, or she always crying or eating. Everything is happening under this tree, because this is the only memory that she have from her somebody. And I really cried with this moment, and I couldn't believe that this mother, I mean, she's like a child, I mean, at this moment. And she told me, I really like to die, but I really like to find for a moment my somebody. And I really like cried. I really cried with this moment, because I couldn't believe that in Iran many people thought that I mean, the families of Iranian martyrs, they are very rich people, but in the reality they are not very rich. They lost their life, do you know? When I worked on this project, I found that the biggest victims of the war, they are not those who were killed. I mean, those people who are still alive, but they always living with many pain and suffer. And I believe that I really like to continue this long-term project.
Amazing. Some really heart-wrenching stories, Fatima, because I think that we always see the war from an outside world, and the mainstream media gives a very static and a very, very straight glimpse of the war. But there are like so detailed
Yes.
stories,
Sorry.
some very,
Yeah.
you know, thousands and thousands of personal stories behind any war. And especially these Iran-Iraq war. We, is the people we who grew up in 80s, or 90s. We have seen this war in a very, from a very different angle view. So, but from your perspective, it's so original and it's so intimate. I must have to say.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
Can we proceed to the next story? Which one do you wanna do? You want me to show the "Let Me Free" from myself, or which one?
Yes, yes, sure.
All
I
right.
make this
So
project when I felt that I can't press in Iran. Yes.
okay. So
Yes.
yeah. So how did you start this project, and what is this about?
So, this project is about the ceremony in Iran. It's very old ceremony and traditional ceremony. It's about the Imam Hussein. I don't know that our
Yeah.
friends in Bangladesh know about Imam Hussein or no.
Yes,
Imam
of course.
Hussein is the grandson of Payam Muhammad, and he's very important for Shia people. And it's near for 600 years, I think. I'm not sure, but I looked everywhere to know. In Lorestan, I mean Khorramabad, there is a very old and traditional ceremony for one day before Ashura. I mean, it's about Tasua Day. Those people who need to help of Imam Hussein, because we believe that Imam Hussein helped to other people. I mean, those people who need. Uh, I mean, they have many sick people in their homes, or they have many problems. They believe that Imam Hussein always helped them. I mean, like, or even some people believe to Payam Muhammad sallallahu, or even Imam Riza or something. And those people who have many problems, they, I mean, especially women, this day is just for women. They bring like a hijab, they bring their face, and they don't think, they don't speak with each other. They are going to 40 houses, and they turn on something. I forget that. Sorry, the name. After that, when they meet going back to home, and they take off their hijab, and after that they can speak with each other. They believe that Imam Hussein always helping to their lives. And I really like this traditional ceremony. It's very old and it's very strange. But when I started this project, I always had this feeling that I'm a woman, and I can't breathe in many times. I had when That's why when I made these projects and I made all the photos, I mean, with my feelings. And yes, it's, I mean, I don't know other people, but it's
No,
very
definitely.
personal of
Fatima,
me
we are
when
getting a
I
lot of comments and compliments for your photographs, and I think some people have a few questions as well. But I'm unable to read the comments while sharing my screen. So I will be reading the comments at the end of the show. Okay. So I wanted to ask you, like, uh, we see a very different view of Iran from from the outside world. So, being a woman photographer, how do you find it to work in your own country?
in sorry, I couldn't hear you. In my
Like,
country.
yeah, like, how is it? What's your experience as a woman photographer working in the different types of issues
Yes.
in depth?
Yes. When I started photography, I mean news photography in Iran, I think there was not so much woman photographer in Iran. I never forget that we had many limitation. I mean, or still we have, because my society is men, and we have many limitation. Iranian news agency or documentary agency, I mean, they don't allow women to show their powers in photography. So I think I'm I'm personally, I'm very, I mean, I think I really like to find my freedom. I always tried my best to show my power in photography. But we had many problems. For my first, for my male society, another is for another problem was, let's say, sanctions, because we had many problems with economic problems. And there is many problems. I think it's not very easy for women to support herself. And in recent years, that I saw that many women photographers, they can't continue their photography because of those problems. So I always fought, and I always changed my news agencies, because I wanted to experience many great things. But after many years, I think it's 12 years or 13 years that I'm working, I found that, Fatima, how much you're trying so hard. I mean, with Iranian news agency, they never give you great chance for, I mean, to be like a professional photographer, like a men photographers. So It's very hard, you know. But I always just believed something that I always made my personal projects. I mean, I try to show a little part of the reality of Iran that I think maybe it's going to change. I mean, other people, I know many people in the world, they really like to know about Iran, but other news agencies in the world, many times they don't show about the reality of Iran. So I decided slowly to make projects that I think they are right. I decided to be independent and support just myself and continue my dream. But it's very, very hard. I think it's not easy. I mean, in Europe, it's very easy and it's very better for one photographer. But in Iran, in Middle East, everything is different. And so,
Yeah,
which, yes, I should
I
always
understand. I
fight,
completely
fighting.
understand that. It's really hard to get it uh, when we are in a very privileged place, and we are very privileged, and in a place where full of opportunities. So it's really hard to understand the other side of the world, and I get you, of course. And I do want to talk about a little bit more about your other projects. Uh,
Yes, thank you, Imtaz. Thank you very much. Yes.
no, of course. Thank you too. And
Yes.
uh, I really wanted to show your project, one of your project, which is called Life After Shock. And I know that that was like after an earthquake. Um, but
Yes, sure.
before I go to this, I let me show the project Martyr is Alive. So going
Okay,
back
sure.
to the Martyrs project, so sharing my screen again, and we will be, yep, like so. So is this project related to the other projects?
Yes.
Yep.
So, when I started Mothers of Pen project, I think at that time I to other families. I mean the difference between the mothers that they found their son bodies or the mothers that they never found. I wanted to know what is the difference between I mean the victims of the war. So I started mothers projects and I went to the ceremony. To Behesh Zah is the place for Iranian soldiers that they is at there. I mean, it's more than 33,000 Iranian soldiers that their bodies is in Behesh Zahra. So I went at this place and I found the face of the mothers or families of soldiers that they always going to Beit Zahra and they always living. And it was very strange and like a shock to me. I found out how much is that is between the difference. The mothers that they never found, and the mothers they have a place. Grave for their son, and those people for this project the mothers or family they have hope, they have a place to go for crying, they know where is their somebody's and it was very interesting to me that I found that people are always living. They believe that the mother is alive and mother is not he did not sorry he didn't this I think that is every week always going to be Sahra and living or even young people always going at there and they have a birthday or they have like married together at Beis Sahra. So I think if you come to Iran and go to this place, you can see this place is very different with other places. And I really love this place, and I went to this place to Beis Sahra for 3 years, and I worked on this project. So it was very interesting. There is living. There is hope people are very happy at this place. But in mothers projects, everything is stopped. The mothers, they don't feel the time is going. The mothers is stopped, everything is stopped, everything is black. And it was very interesting, yeah,
Very
for me.
interesting. In your picture,
At this place, those people
particularly,
who,
yeah, particularly in this project, I see that your style is very much intimate as well as in detail. So your attention to the details are so terrific, um, and these small little emotions, it made the whole story so powerful. So, Fatima, I wanted to ask you, like, there are like so many so many things happening all the time in Iran. So when we see the mainstream pictures from the mainstream media, and then you are showing your own personal stories to the world, what type of response do you usually get from the other parts of the world? How do the people react to your
I
photos?
couldn't understand.
Can you hear me?
How is the reaction of people in the world, you mean?
Yeah, like
Yes, I think
you have shown
sometimes
your
your
photos.
voice is a little having problem.
Yeah, please proceed.
I can't hear your voice now.
Well,
You mean about the reaction of people, yes?
yes,
Sorry, can't hear you now. Okay. Do you know one thing is, I mean, for all of my project, I don't receive any money. I mean, because I never, I don't know, because I think that the media, or I mean the festivals, or they always making choosing the projects that they really like to see, not the story that are reality. But one thing is very important to me. I think the festivals or awards are not very important to me, but the reaction of people is very important. I had many exhibition in, I mean, Myanmar or different countries, and I always saw many people that cried, or they were surprised when they saw my project, and they told me, we really like to know about Iran, and you always show us a different projects, different stories. I mean, I saw many great reaction from people around the world, and that's why they always make my heart to be very warm to continue. I mean, to one thing that I really believe that. And many times it's very hard because I have no support in Iran or even out of Iran, and I always should find a small way for my projects that I really continue that. But the reaction of people is the only thing that I really like uh, in my photography, and I'm trying to continue this pace,
definitely.
especially for mothers projects. That one thing was very interesting, because I received many when the project could receive awards. I received many messages from the Argentina, I think, Afghanistan, or I mean many countries, like I think I forget that, Kashmir in India, or different countries, that they told me, Fatima, we have many mothers like your Iranian mothers. They told me, we there are many mothers in our countries that they lost their sons during the war or something like that, and they are still waiting, or even in Iraq or different countries. And when I made this project, I mean, I think the project could make a great connection with people. And many people, I mean, in different countries, like, I mean, we say America or Israel, we always say that how much they cried and they could understand the project. And I was happy after that. I found that how much our photographs are very strong, and they are very impressive and could make a great connection with other people. I think the only thing that I really like in photography is just that, to make a story that people could understand, and I like that. I really like to continue.
Yeah. Uh, Fatima, in
Yes.
this point, I want to read a few of our comments which I have been receiving through Facebook,
Yes, sure.
um, and we are getting a lot of responses from different platforms as this podcast is being um, transmitted from both Facebook and the YouTube channel. And Imtaz Ahmed Mo, she wrote, Fatima, your stories are heart touching and inspiring. Sh- Shakat Hussain, he made a few comments which he really applauded your dedication. He said, amazing. Um, and Craig Screener, he wrote, thank you for who you are and for sharing your stories, dear Fatima. Peace. Uh, Mr. Alex Nishe,
Thank you very
uh,
much.
I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but Mr. Alex, wrote, Fatima, your images show a heart wrenching side of Iran that I know a little about because I lived there in 2007 to 2009. But as a foreigner, one never gets close to this. How do you get access? Do you want to answer this question?
Yes. Yes, please, yes. I mean, sorry, I can understand a little part of. I mean, about access. How do you get access? I can understand.
Like, how do you manage to go inside people's house? Like, means how do you manage to select your subjects and and
Ah, yes,
convince
yes, yes.
convince people,
Yes, yes,
means convince
yes.
people, to
I'm
take their
really sorry, Alex. Yes. Yes, I'm really sorry, Alex, because my language is not very well. I'm really sorry, and sometimes I can't understand some words.
again. You don't have to be sorry. You're
I think
doing excellent, of course. I
yeah,
really appreciate that.
I think yes, I think I always following my heart, and I always choose the projects that I think they are important and they are very impressive in the people of lives. I mean, the lives of people. I think the only thing, I mean, the only reason is about that. I mean, like earthquake project, because I think that the lives of millions people are always, I mean, destroyed, or in the future is going to destroy because of that. Or even, I mean, the effects of the war. I think that the lives of million people, I mean, in the Middle East is impressed by the war, or like the execution. I mean, I worked that. It was a very bad. I mean, it was a very dark part of Iran in 2011 or in 2012. I always made the projects that I always felt that they are very important, that and they should be seen, and I always follow my heart. Yes,
Yes,
I chose
and
the projects because of that.
do you wanna talk a little bit about your execution project?
Yeah,
And if you
you
don't
want
mind
to
me
that?
helping,
Yes.
how do I find it on your
Plus,
website?
I think the execution. Yes, I think execution project is have a password. I'm really sorry. One
Oh,
of my
okay.
master told me you should. Yes, but I sent you the photos if you can show it.
Yes, that's on my. That's on. Viewers, please allow us some time so that I can show you
Yes,
the the
yes.
project. Is this Oh, hold on a second. So,
So I
uh,
can speak about the
yes,
execution projects, why I made, and after that, the others can go and look at the project.
sure, of course.
I don't
I got
know
it. I
what.
got it. Hold on a second. I got it. And let me. I know that
Yes,
this
yes,
is the picture shows very small though, but still
yes,
we
yes.
can have a look.
When I
Yes.
was, yeah,
Yep. Please proceed.
yes. So about the execution project, yes, okay, it's great. So I made these projects. You know, I think I did this project because when I was 17, I was very young, and I read a book from Dostoevsky, a Russian writer. He's very famous, and he spoke about the violence in watching the execution. It was like at that time I was very young, and I had no information about society or about the nature of people. I mean, about the human being, and I thought that maybe people are changed. I mean, people are changing, and maybe the people they are not like before. And when I started, I mean, when I worked, I mean, I started professional photography in the Iranian news agency. I mean, it was about 2011 and 2012. There was many execution in public in Iran. There was so much, but today is changed and there is no so much. And at that time, I decided to make a project about that. I was so curious to know that I wanted to know how much people change, and or there is a miracle or no. So before that, I had no information. I didn't know why I'm making this project. And I worked on the execution. On five execution on four cities of Iran, and every time I went to take photos, I saw different moments, and I after that I heard many news that because the execution in public in Iran was free and everybody could watch that, children or the women or different place, other people, and it was like a shock to me. After that, I asked the question why watching the death of people is free, why people have no right to be happy, but they can watch the death of people. So after that, I was looking for the miracles. I really believe to God, and I really like to see that. Can you please can you please back before a shot before that? No, 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 please back. A person, yes, this shot. And when I went to take photos of this person, I think please back, yes, that person that his eyes is closed, and he when the eyes was open, and when I was so curious take him, and he looked at me and he asked me a question. He told me, why are you here, and why what do you want to watch? Do you know, at that moment I was shocked. Didn't know.
Yep.
I had many answers, but I couldn't answer him because at the moment sometimes in our photography I don't know that other photographers are like that, but that person, sorry, this is not another shot. Sorry, can you go to back shot, one shot before that. Yes, and he talked to me and he wanted no, no, another shot. And he talked to me, why are you here? And he told me, and that's why at the moment I didn't know what should I say to him? And it was like a shock to me. And he told me, please take care of your family, your sister or your brother. And after that, he wanted to say his last words, but yes, this person. But the police or other people didn't allow him to speak. But he looked at me. I think I was the last hope for him. He told me, "Can you go and to find my mother?" And it was a very strange moment. I didn't know what should I say. And when he told me, he asked me, "Can you go and see my mother?" And I didn't. His words were not finished. After that, the execution finished. At the moment, I just took shots, but I cried, and after that, I went back and looked at the other people. And at the moment, I didn't know what should I do, and I was surprised, and I think I was like that person. I was shocked. I didn't know why people they come and they are trying so hard to watch the deaths of those people. And this execution project changed me, and I found that the violence of people is never going to change. This is important to understand how much the people, human, is going to be modern, but our nature is never going to change. People or human, they always like to see the violence. And after that, I think for many years, I never forget those people who I took their photos. So when I took the person that talked to me, he was a killer. He and his friend, they killed a family. But at the moment, I thought that every person can make a mistake. uh, all of us can make a mistake, and those people, when I saw them, many of them laughed and they were happy. But when I talked to them, they told me it was right, he should die. I told them, maybe I can make a mistake. When I think that's why I made this project. I wanted to show the reaction of people. But I mean how much we think that we are right. The people think those people who were died, they are black. They are just black and they should die. But those people, they were white. They were never black in their homes, in their lives. You know, this project is always like a question to me, and I never sent this project for the festivals or for publishing. I think this is just for my heart. And many times I always thinking to those people, and taking photos of people who are dying is the hardest thing for every photographer, I think. Yes.
Yeah,
And my
Fatima, this
last
project
take
is,
my last, yes,
this project is not
my
only.
last shot. Sorry, can you go to the start of the project?
Sure, sure.
Sorry. Yes, yes. My last execution that I took photo, it was about two young boys. Yes, sorry. Next shot. Yes, yes. Can you please stop? No, no. The second before that. My last shot was about two young boys. They told me something that was very important, and I really like to share with other photographers, that very special to young photographers that they want to start their photography. One of them told me, "We are going to be killed just because of the media." And he was right, because they stole just some money in the street. But with something, it many people, they had many fear because of that, because their movies come, and many people saw their movies, and because of the movie they died, and the media made them be very big. But they could be alive today, but they told me that the media killed us. It was very strange, and because after that I found that the media have this power to make, to give life to people, or can take the life of people, and this is the power that we should always we should always be very careful with our camera. When we want to take photos of people, we should think how much, about the effects of our photos is very important. uh, it was my last shot I took of those people, about the execution, and I found that how much Iranian media made many mistakes. Because of media, they were killed. I never forget that. And after that, I didn't continue this project.
Fatima, these projects triggers a lot of questions, um, a, a lot of questions and a lot of queries from in people's mind, of course. And as you told by yourself, that it triggered a lot of questions to yourself too. So especially in this time when there's a lot of debate around the world about the live executions and the role of the media. So your project is like, I think it's at the same time it's timeless, and um, it gives a different perspective to to our very traditional mindset. I wanted to ask you, like in these photographs, I see that I see a lot of a lot of men around the happenings, lot of involvement of men. Being a woman, um, how did you feel yourself? I know that you already talked about your feelings, but security wise, how was
Yes.
it to photograph these kind of events? Like, I know that.
Do you know? Uh,
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. When I always had the dream to be great photographer, so I always forced myself to control my feelings and make my photos, my works. I always, when I want to take photos of at this moment, I think I was very strong. I think I'm not very sensitive at the moment when I'm taking photos, but after that, when I'm looking at my photos now, or at that time, after photography, I think
So was it
it
easy to
made me to
photograph,
be
or
very
like
sadder.
was there
You
any
know,
challenge? Did anybody try to stop you, or how was the reaction
my
of
father,
towards you
my
of other
father,
people?
my father, yes, my father, he was psychologist. He always told me, Fatima, please don't go, because I know after that this project you're going to be very sad. But I told him this is part of his story. I should go take photos. I was very, it was very important to me, because I know this is part of the Iran's history, and I wanted to make this story, and I wanted to find my answer. But I didn't know that. I think sometimes I'm very sad why I did make this project, but sometimes I'm not sad, because this project made me to be a deeper person. Photography, for me, is like it's like a way. Like a pace of life. With photography, I can see about the nature of people, what is their reaction, why they are. I can find many answers. I can find many challenge for myself. It made me to be very deeper person. I think it made me to be very sadder, but mm, I could control it. It was not very hard to me, because I made another project. The earthquake, this one, or maybe my pace was. I had many hardships, and I was not a very sensitive person. I think I was a little person, and I always saw that my main friends. My main photographer friends, they were very sensitive, but I was not like that. I was very curious to know what is happening, and I wanted to take the photos of all of them, because I knew that this event is very important and I should take these photos, but I didn't know how much is very important. But after many years, I found about that.
Definitely, this is an incredibly important project to document, of course, and the world is seeing these stories through your eyes, and I, like other people who are commenting on our Facebook pages, they're like, means I really want to say with them that thank you very much for covering these things. So Vivian Valdez from the Philippines, she wrote, I can relate to what you said that women photojournalists find difficulties in this line of work. They always say that it's a men's world, which I wish would change.
Yes,
Yeah. Uh,
yes. No, one thing, after many years, I found something that when I have workshops for Iranian women, I mean, especially women, I always believe that women have a very strange power in their photographies, but they don't know about that. I mean, it's about their feelings, and this is the power of women that they can use that in their photographies. Okay, men photographers are very great. They always make very great, I mean, great shots. I always saw that. But women have a very stronger things in themselves. I think if they know about this power, about the feelings, the inside of I mean, in heart, maybe I think they can make very stronger stories than many photographers. I think you should find yourself. I mean, Vivian, do you know? If you like to be like a male photographer, okay, you're going to be very similar. But if you like to be like yourself, you can make a different and very strong projects than men photographers. I think women should find their powers. I mean, uh, if women could believe themselves, they can make very different projects. I'm not
Absolutely.
saying
That's why
I
we
say,
need
but
more
after
women
many years,
photographers.
I found this.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we
What?
need more women photographers from all around the world, women
Yes, yes,
artists,
yes, yes,
and we wanna
yes. Women
we
have a
wanna talk about if about the journeys of the women photographers in
yes,
more biggest space, of course. Uh,
yes, please.
Fatima, that I know that a lot of my students and a lot of photographers who really like your work and who really follows you, is watching this show from different parts of the world. um, uh, don't take me don't take me wrong, but if I wanna ask you, like, what type of equipments or photography gear do you use? Is there any particular photography gear that helps you to go to pursue your work in more intimate way?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Is there any particular photography gear? Like, is there any particular camera or anything, or any particular lens you always
Yes,
use to maintain your style or signature?
yes. Sorry, I couldn't understand.
No, that's
Sorry.
fine. No,
We
that's
use
fine. That's fine. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm being
for my
difficult. My English is not so good as well.
yeah.
So, okay. So, what type of photography equipments or camera do you use?
What type of photography? I
Camera,
mean,
camera, or what type of
I
camera?
mean, no. For me, no. I mean, what is important for me? I mean, in my photography.
Yeah,
I mean, photography is not. I mean, the camera is not very important.
important.
I
Yeah,
mean, in before photograph, I mean, I'm not a rich person. I were never a rich person, and I think today I found that the camera is not really important. I have a very small camera that I received the award from the WordPress masterclass WordPress 7 years ago, and I still could not buy another camera. But I think today the photography is not important. When I'm going to a street, I always take photos with my mind. I always think to people. I always I thinking. I mean, the idea. I mean, what am I saying with my photographs is more important than camera. I see that many people. I mean, they have many great cameras, but they can't say. They can't take photos that to be very impressive and help me to understand what is he saying. I don't know, you can't believe that, but I know I don't look at many I mean in news or documentary agency, because when I see many photos I can see what is it. Most of the photos in the photo are very similar to each other.
Right.
I think there is no difference with many photos. I think you can understand what I'm saying. But I always looking for a photographer who is different. I mean, for me, I mean, the camera is not really important. I mean,
You
what
just
is
you just
he or
perfectly
she is
explained
saying.
it, and I got the right answer from you, because in this world when this photography is all about like big cameras and
Yes,
this fancy gadgets and everything. So you
yes,
perfectly explained like how important is the stories, and no matter what camera do we use, or no matter
I think
whatever we have, yeah, the story is the main thing. If the story,
very important.
yeah,
Everything. I mean, photography is just about a story, not about the photographer. I mean, the camera. I
yeah,
mean, I mean, camera is just 5 or 10%, and ninety
yep,
percent is about storytelling and what am I saying and what is the difference between my vision, I think, and with others. Do you know? Most of
yep,
and do you know? I always work in difficult moments because I always wanted to find many things. I mean, different meaning. It was very important to me. I wanted to understand people. And when I went to the earthquake, I mean, for three or many times, I had no place for sleeping. I had no food for eating. I mean, most of my clothes were very, I think, they were not good. I always lived with many difficulties because I wanted to find. I lived with other people. I lived with, like, I mean, poor people. I wanted to understand what is happening to their lives, and my pace and all of my pain, all of them helped me to find I mean, my vision. I think photography. So I don't know the vision is the right word. I think it's very good. I mean, I really like to say to young people that please forget your camera and go and live with poor people. Go to the lives of the people to see what is happening to their lives. And if you have problems with, I mean, if you're rich people, please forget all things you have. Go and live with other people. Go to Middle East. I mean, go understand what is happening. And sometimes it's very good if you can find a little pain. Pain is very good things. Make us to be very deep person.
and
I think you
strong.
should yes, I think make us to be very strong, and I think you should make your personality first. After that, take your photos. It's very important. Many people think that they should have, if they have a very good camera, okay, I can make great projects now. But the photography is not about taking photos. Photography
Yeah,
is like a
building your
base.
personality first, and then determine your photographic signature. What a tremendous,
Yes.
what a significant suggestions you have given to the young generations. And uh, absolutely, you are great young inspirations around the world. And people are, means people are not only amazed by your photographs, but you show the your world to to the to the other part of the world, to the other people of the other part of the world, in a very different and unique way. And I hope that you will continue to doing this, and you will
Thank you.
continue to send your message to the young generations, of course. So we are almost at the end of our conversation. A lot of people thanked you, as I
Thank
am
you.
also thanking you very much. Mihoko Wada, a Japanese photographer based in Washington, D.C., she sent gratitude towards you, and a lot of other people too. Mr. Alex Georgina Nietzsche, um, uh, he wrote, "Thank you for this interview, Andrew and Fatima. Thank you are most welcome, sir." And uh, Fatima, we are at the end of our conversation. I think I can I make a request? If you please upload your execution project to your um, website. People will be very
Okay.
benefited from. I think a lot of people
Yes.
are interested to see your this project, so that would be great.
Sure.
And I know that you are also involved with like some incredible platforms like Women Photographs, Visura, and I really thank them to showcasing your work to the other people, and by that a lot of people could see your work. Vivian say thank to both of you, Shubro Kantidash. So one last question to Fatima: is there any specific? I know that you already talked about the photography camera and stuff to the young people, but is there any other specific suggestions you wanna give to the young generation?
And photography is a very hard way, and many times you have no money for continue your project. Many times you're going to lose your belief. Many times you don't know how could I continue my work, and I think I'm in middle of this way too. But always believe yourself and believe in your photography. And this is not important. Your project could receive awards or festival or no. This is not really important. Just take photos with your heart. To those, make the projects that you believe. Uh, that they are right and could make the heart of people to be near to each other to make those stories. And I think I have many problems with politicians, because politicians in the world, they always starting many wars, and they always make many enemies with people. But I think we need peace. Please try to make peace for our children in the world. I think the world is very small, and we should be to make this peace is not very hard. I think this is not very impossible, and we should always believe ourselves. And I think this is my last words. Yes, believe yourself. Just
Absolutely, believe yourself. Thank you so very much, Fatima Behboudi. Your
your
pictures will make significant contribution to the world peace, and we are so certain about it. And thank you so very much for sharing your stories and
yes,
and
of
your
course.
pictures.
And I'm really sorry.
Sure.
Yes, I'm really sorry if my language was very bad. I'm really sorry, because in Iran we have no connection so much with English people. I mean, sorry, my language was
Fatima,
very
you
bad.
don't have to say
Yes.
sorry. We are very grateful to you. We are really thankful to you for connecting um,
Thank you very much.
to
Yes.
the world from a very remote place, and showing and sharing your views and photos to our
Yeah.
audience. We really thankful to you, and we wish you all the best, and we look forward to more incredible stories from you.
Yes. Thank you very much.
You are most welcome. Viewers, one more time, if you want to see Fatima Behboudi's work in details, you can always visit www.fatimabehboudi.visura.co, and you can always um, subscribe my channel, which is facebook.com slash Andrew Biraj, and youtube.com slash Andrew Biraj, so that you can see incredible interviews like Fatemeh Behboudi's and other photographers and on my channel. I really thank to everyone who have been watching with
Yes.
us, who have been with us, and thank you, Fatima. Bye bye.
Bye. خدافظ. Bye. Thank you very much.
You're most
Bye.
welcome. Thank you, viewers, and I promise you to come back very soon with another amazing photographers from a different part of the world. Until then, stay tuned and um, be healthy. Thank you.